This is Kentucky's Heartland, sharing the stories of the people, places, and events powering the Heartland. I'm Greg Milby, community storyteller. Kentucky's Heartland videocast and podcast brought to you by Bluegrass Cellular. Visit bluegrasscellular.com or stop by your nearest Bluegrass Cellular location. Also by Chick-fil-A on the Dixie in E-Town. Be sure to check out the new dine-in mobile ordering on the Chick-fil-A app. Order from your table and they bring it right to you. And also brought to you by Co-working of Elizabethtown. Visit 111coworking.com to learn what co-working space is all about. All right, in this episode, I am joined by Officer Chris Denham of the Elizabethtown Police Department to talk about a few holiday things of importance for the Elizabethtown Police Department. And you've got a couple of opportunities if you're listening to it on the podcast. He is a handsome guy-ish. So you could watch the video cast. If you're watching the video cast, you are blessed already. And if you don't like what he looks like, you can click that off and just go to the podcast,
which we highly recommend.
There
by the way.
All right. So Chris are you the public information officer? Is that the official title?
Public affairs officer. Now,
Public
John
affairs.
John and I are both a public affairs officer.
Okay. I thought maybe one was public affairs and one was public information, but you're both the same.
One and the same. Obviously, he has some different duties that we kind of share back and forth.
Like good cop, bad cop.
I'm usually the bad cop, as you might guess.
Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead.
We do, but we work very well together, and I feel like we're pretty successful at what we do.
I think so. I mean, I didn't
mostly because of me. But
originally, when they said you guys were going to be doing this, I'm like, this is going to end badly.
Mutt and Jeff.
But you guys have done pretty well with it.
I think we have. We have a good time.
So let's talk about some of the stuff going on for the holidays. We'll get to talking about crime and all that in a bit, but I want to talk some warm and fuzzy stuff. This Santa Express. Mm-hmm. I know you've already got winners for the Santa Express this year, where you're going to be bringing Santa Claus to people this year?
It's actually an idea that Anna and Travis over at Parks and Recreation came up with, and it's parents were able to sign their kids up. It was free. We had a drawing, and those names who are drawn are going to get a visit from Santa Claus, and yours truly. I'm going to escort Santa around the city to visit with kids with a special prize.
For the love of Jesus, please tell me you're going to wear an elf costume.
Probably not. Probably going to wear. Is this an elf costume, Greg?
No, I think you should get in the role a little bit. I think you would. I mean, at Halloween, you act like you don't dress as somebody, but you always dress in like a mascot suit and go around. So why wouldn't you dress in an elf costume?
It's Santa Express. That's what it's about. The police are escorting Santa.
Okay.
So that's the costume for the night.
All right. So that's a cool idea. And so
and all credit goes to them. Anna and Travis, they are super creative. They've been a lot of fun to work with since taking over in that new role. And I think they got the idea from a previous municipality where they worked together also. But it's been very successful there, and we look forward to just grow each year here.
And that's what I like about you guys being public affairs officers. It's about getting out and shining a different light on police officers. Because normally, when somebody has an interaction with the police, they've got pulled over or they're having a really tragic moment in their life. This is an opportunity to kind of bring some bright spots to it.
I think if you asked me what my job was, if I had to give a description, it would be simply to, show people that we are people before police and demystify policing. There are very few secrets as it relates to police work. I mean, obviously there are some things that we have to keep confidential so it doesn't compromise investigation. But overall, the day-to-day of police work, there's nothing to hide. We have nothing to hide. Frankly, we're an open book. Mm-hmm. And we like to share that with people. I think people get wrapped up in the fact that we were trying to keep things hidden or behind the scenes. That's not the case at all.
All right. Now, I know another program that you guys hold near and dear is the Shop with a Cop program.
Yes, sir. Coming up next week, actually. And that's sponsored through the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 40. And it wouldn't be possible without all of our generous donations from citizens, throughout our community. And we take over nearly 300 kids each year shopping and help them to have a Christmas that they otherwise would not have. They have the opportunity to get clothing items that they much need and also have the opportunity to get a toy. So that's a great event. And anyone that would like to donate to that may contact me, Chris Denham. They can drop a check off at the Elizabethtown Police Department made payable to Fraternal Order Police or FOP Lodge 40. In the memo line, they can put Shop with a Cop. And again, this program would not be possible without the generosity and those donations.
You told me there's no secrets, so are we short cash? Do we need more money? Do we need people to support this?
The more money we raise, the more kids we can help.
Okay.
And this year we did actually take a pretty good hit. One of our donors who we were very appreciative of wasn't able to do it this year, so that was a big blow. But again, we've had some other people step up, and it's going to continue on, and we're going to make it a successful year again.
You know, I had a chance last year to do that, which was awesome to go out and shop. And I didn't expect that. I thought that I was going to assist somebody in the shopping because I don't do very well with the whole shopping thing. But I ended up with 3 young boys.
Oh boy.
With some money and decisions, which for those folks that maybe haven't had a chance to shop at the cop, I mean, it's all about they've got a list, and I guess their parents or guardians
They
kind of put them in order.
So
of
you
what
know
they
the
need.
sizes and their needs.
Yeah, because we had one kid that didn't really need a coat, but he wanted a coat. But I'm like, dude, it's number 10 on your list, so we got to work our way through this other stuff first. But what really got to me, and I talked about it when I got home with Jennifer, is that they spent more time on the toy because they had $20 I think to spend on a toy, but it was about maximizing what they wanted, and because they don't get this stuff normally.
Right, and we take that for granted. We forget that there are so many people out there that aren't as fortunate as you and I, and it's a humbling experience to participate in that program.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to make a donation, the information, we will have that at Kentucky'sHeartland.com. You can find that on the featured tab. If you're watching the video, you're seeing some of the information on the screen. Again, on the podcast, go to Kentucky'sHeartland.com to find that for Shop with a Cop. And as soon as Shop with a Cop is over with this year, you're already starting to make plans for next year, right?
Absolutely. We collect for it year-round. So if in January or February you decide, hey, I'd like to make a donation to Shop with the Cop, again, they can contact me. I'll come to you, pick up a check. You can drop it off at the police department. We'll do whatever, and we gladly welcome those donations.
Yeah, and if you're somebody, my parents always ask me, hey, what do you want for Christmas? I mean, I'm at the point now that if I want something, I don't want to wait for it, unfortunately.
You go buy it.
Yeah, so if one thing you can do is say, hey, instead of buying me something, make a donation to Shop with a Cop.
Absolutely.
So Christmas, you could do that, and then you've already got a kickstart on the 2020.
Huge, yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, so not so good stuff is holiday shopping. As Black Friday approaches on Friday, people are going to get out. They're going to do a lot of this shopping, and unfortunately, when people get out to shop, there's people that go out to take what you have been shopping for. So what are some of the pointers that you can give people this year as they go out Black Friday shopping?
Use common sense. That is the best advice I can give. And when I say that, I mean, don't travel alone. Early morning hours, especially on Black Friday, stores are open at midnight. Some aren't even closing, but go with friends. Use the buddy system. When you go out, park in a well-lit area. Don't park in a dark area. If you purchase items, don't leave them in plain view of your car. And lock the cars. So often, the term is loosely used of vehicle break-ins. Well, the reality of it is it's seldom that we have vehicle break-ins. We have a lot of theft of contents from automobiles. We don't have a lot of vehicle break-ins. And if people would just take that step and remember to please lock their doors before getting out of their car, that'll prevent, I would venture to say, 95% of the thefts from vehicles. Leave stuff in the trunk, cover it up. Just don't make it readily available. We talk about the crime triangle, the opportunity, the ability, and the desire. You cannot do anything about someone's ability to commit a crime. I can't do anything about someone's desire to commit a crime, but what you can do is you can limit their opportunity. And we encourage folks to keep that in mind. Again, opportunity, ability, and desire. Control the things that you can control.
Yeah, we do encourage people to shop local because we are a local business, and we love it when people spend money here.
November 30th, I believe, is the
Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday coming up.
A lot of folks, and there'll be people downtown anyway with Light Up Downtown E-Town, which we're going to have an opportunity to talk to the mayor later today, and it'll be posted as well, probably underneath your podcast. You'll be higher than the mayor. How about that?
Well, is that in height?
Yeah, well, I mean, you be your own judge on what you want to define that as. So,
I'm definitely not more important than the mayor. Okay, I know that.
So, but shopping local is important. But if you do shop online, I know there's big issues with porch pirates, people that are stealing Amazon packages and FedEx and UPS packages off the porch. What kind of advice can you give somebody that's doing that kind of shopping?
Well, first and foremost, if you work someplace, like, for example, at the police department, I send a lot of my packages to the police department. There's always someone there to receive them, so I don't have to worry about them sitting on my porch for all day. Also, there's a tracking number, and you can subscribe via text message. This is 2019, and most of us have have data phones. If I have them, I'm kind of resistant to technology,
That's
as you know, Greg.
I'm surprised you moved past a flip phone. But
well, that was last year. We moved forward to that. No, I couldn't live without it. But sign up for those text alerts so you know when your package is delivered. And maybe you can make arrangements to get home and get those things off your porch, because you're exactly right. You know, people drive through neighborhoods, and fortunately, this is not a significant problem in this area, but it certainly does and potentially can happen, and just take items off the front porch.
Yeah, I wasn't distracted by you. I was over here looking too. If you were looking at me, I was looking at a stat. An estimated 20% of Americans will have a package stolen from in front of their door. That was Family Circle
20%.
magazine. 20%.
Well, and you know something else, through the United States Postal Service, there's a service they offer that you can daily mail notification. I'm not sure if you're even aware of this, but you can sign up and they will actually send you a daily email, or you can log in and see, and it shows you a picture of every single piece of mail that you'll be receiving that day.
Huh.
So that, you know, if you realize, hey, you're expecting a check or a bank card, a credit card, or whatever in the mail, if it doesn't show up that day, you can get out in front of it and get that thing stopped or canceled. And if it doesn't show, it's really a worthy subscription to have. It's free.
So that's something you need to look into as well. All right, so we've talked about the holiday shopping. We've talked about Shop with a Cop. We talked about the Santa Express. Let's move off the holidays a little bit and talk about the Hardin County Crimestoppers. I'm seeing a big push on social media, and the Hardin County Crimestoppers. You guys are putting some dents in some crime around here.
You know, Hardin County Crimestoppers is a nonprofit organization. It is formed by community members, and they are doing a fantastic job at supporting local law enforcement. You know, we've partnered. Hardin County Crimestoppers has partnered with local media outlets. Also, they've vamped up their Facebook page, and they're doing a phenomenal job at spreading that message. And basically, it allows folks to provide anonymous tips to this organization. They are a third party. They're totally anonymous. And if that tip that's provided leads to the arrest or information regarding a case that law enforcement is seeking, the tipster gets a cash reward of up to $1,000. Of course, that depends on the seriousness of the offense and circumstances surrounding it. But it's been a big tool for Hardin County law enforcement. You know, this organization's been around since the early 90s, but we've kind of been rebranding it over the past year, and they've done a great job. Let's just say in the past 6 months, they've nabbed tips from Crimestoppers, have nabbed at least a dozen arrests of wanted people. And, you know, numerous tips roll in to assist investigators with their investigations. So it's been a valuable asset to us. And again, the number for Hardin County Crimestoppers is 1-800-597-8123, 1-800-597-8123. It does not have to be a case that the law enforcement is even aware of at the time. If you are aware of criminal conduct taking place, even if law enforcement doesn't know, you can call that in on Hardin County Crimestoppers, provide that information. You'll be assigned a case number, and if that tip leads to an arrest or identification of a suspect or whatever else, you're eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000. And basically what happens when you call that 1-800-597-8123, the call taker assigns you with a case number. And from that case number, you'll be directed to call back periodically, because literally they don't know who you are. And that information that you provide them will be passed along to law enforcement, the appropriate agency. And then when you call back periodically, you can just check the status of your case based on the case number provided. If and when the time comes that your tip leads to the arrest, you will be directed to go to a local financial institution where you'll pull up and you'll simply tell them you're there for whatever instructions are given. And it's handed to you, no questions asked, no identification provided, nothing. The reward is handed to you, and away you go.
It's a pretty simple process.
It's a very simple process, and again, it's totally anonymous, up to $1,000, and who can't use some holiday cash?
No doubt about it. All right, so a lot of stuff that we have covered on this edition of the podcast and video cast, and if you're listening to it and you need all the information, or if you're watching and you didn't write it all down, you can go to Kentucky'sHeartland.com and click on the link to this video and this podcast, and there'll be a little cheat sheet there with all the information that we've talked about. So cool stuff.
Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I'm sure I will, and you as well.
Hopefully our paths don't cross again until the new year. We kind of
I
argued.
thought we were friends.
Well, we were.
I thought we were going to go it's Thanksgiving week. I thought we were going to like be buddy here instead of like jabbing at each other.
I give the amount of thanks. I give thanks for all the time I have to spend with you this previous year. I don't want to do anymore. I think we've exceeded our time together.
So we've capped out.
I think we have.
Okay.
We'll
All right.
revisit this in the 1st of January.
You want to show everybody your pretty bracelet you're wearing?
I have a beautiful pink bracelet.
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? This is why our time is over.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to bring up your here. Put that thing up there. Show everybody.
Where do you
Look.
want it?
Here, actually, you know what? I'll zoom in there.
Zoom in.
Look at that. I mean, look at that. That is not very manly.
I was going to give you one.
Yeah.
Greg. This was actually yours.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that didn't work out so well for me, did it?
Not
All
so
right.
well.
Okay. All right. He is Officer Chris Denham of the Elizabethtown Police Department. I am Greg Milby, and we again thank Chris for being a part of the podcast, the video cast, to talk about a few important topics and a few not so important ones, maybe at the end there. But hey, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at Anchor.fm so you can never miss an episode of Kentucky's Heartland. You can also see all the behind-the-scenes fun of the video cast by subscribing to our YouTube channel and Kentucky'sHeartland.com. Plus, like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are not on MySpace to stay up on what's happening in our community. The MySpace thing was a joke.
Stab at me, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe. I'm Greg Milby, community storyteller. This is Chris Denham, officer at the Elizabethtown Police Department, and this is Kentucky's Heartland.